Wow, those are some big ones coming up there.
This is like the slowest tether management turn ever.
Oh, are you still working on that?
Might as well enjoy the view while we're doing it. It is ridiculous.
So for those of you who are just joining us and asking us to adjust sat feed 2, please do not adjust your sets at home. The Argus view is a bit of a change today. We had some equipment maintenance to do, and so this is what you get. We're calling it Throwback Tuesday.
Equipment maintenance. Come on, tell it like it is.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that's kind of your story to tell there, Dan. But please do not adjust your sets. That sat feed 2 or channel 2, that's what you get today. The Throwback Tuesday look at what deep sea exploration used to be able to show us. And then on sat feed 1, you see the modern. So thanks for noticing those changes there, viewers.
So the camera that was on there is called a Zeus Plus. It's made by Insight Pacific. There's about 6 of them on the planet. It uses a 5-gallon bucket for a cover, for a lens cover. That's how big the front of it is. And so they're basically handmade titanium housing. The thing takes 2 people to lift. I have scars to prove it. And the lens on it is probably costs more than a new Dodge truck. And they're hand ground polished. There's several diopters in there to correct the air-water-air interface. Anyways, we noticed a small fracture on the inside of the dome. It looks like a rock hit your windshield. And that was, so where the dome seals against the titanium housing, there's a proprietary Kapton in a seal there, and the glass, the bulk modulus of the glass is a little different than the bulk modulus of the titanium, so they squeeze at different rates. So it happens sometimes. That we notice it after the 3,300, 3,400 meter dive.
But so was it pressure derived or?
It's probably pressure cycling. So the glass has a huge force, as you can imagine, against the titanium, and they're well squeezed at that depth. We haven't been to that depth with that camera since it's had that particular lens put on, which tragically is a new lens. The cameras have had some upgrades recently with the media converters in there that transfer the image up the fiber optics. So it takes the image, the high definition image out of the camera and converts it to fiber. And
looks like we have
anyways, it was noticed by Gabby and Trevor. So there was just amazingly just a few drops of water in there. So the seal is compromised on the camera. So what we'll have to do is take the thing apart and we carry a spare lens on board, but it's quite a it's not something you would want to do between dives. There's some special tooling involved, big heavy aluminum stuff, so we basically have to clamp the camera down and special tooling to open it up and resize the seal, change the seal, and then service all the O-rings and backfill the camera with nitrogen and test it. So we obviously want to make sure it doesn't, all the seals have integrity when we put it back together. We do have another spare HD camera, but in the interest of time, we decided to forego forego integrating that to Argus for this dive. Unfortunately, they're not plug and play. There's a unique deep water connector on the big Zeus plus 6,000 meter rated camera.
Should we keep Argus moving?
Yeah, let me get out in front there a bit. I'm
All
just
right.
kind of
And
following
did you
the
talk
ridge up.
with Randy about that, Kate? That we're going to take the northern ridge where at the fork?
Yes, we did talk about it.
Okay, fantastic.
Trying to get some upgraded maps for us.
Okay.
2 roads diverged.
Neither, both are less taken.
Yes.
So these beautiful precious corals we've been seeing while Dan was telling the story of the maintenance issue there. Well, that's not a precious. That looks like a prinoid there. But it's been an amazing collection of these dense coral communities all along this ridge on the southeast side of Tamana Seamount. From the very get-go, from where the vehicles met the seafloor.
You've been seeing this all night, have you?
It's a few patches where it was a little less dense, but yeah.
In the troughs, right?
And there's a lot more besides the precious corals, but that's what grabs your eye. But there's a lot going on, smaller, closer to the seafloor. And we saw some huge polyopigon corals, polyopigon sponges. What's right in front of us there?
Yeah, what is that?
Lasers just hit. Can we take a look at that?
What's that?
The one with the lasers just crossed.
Oh, the bushy one?
Yeah, the Christmas tree type.
Actually in a good spot to go back off of that little coral there.
Yeah.
Oh. Lobster friend. Exit stage down.
Oh, I thought I could set it down here and you could see the one in the background, but it's lower than I thought. That guy where the lasers are, is it?
Yeah.
You're gonna go for a laser zoom there, Steve. I'll have to do a on the fly here.
I'm realizing the laser zoom is always a different zoom.
You can zoom in a bit more. Gabby, can you come down, please?
Apparently another black coral. We're hearing from shore.
Looks like it's spawning.
Yeah, the polyps definitely look different than what we're, I guess, used to.
It looks like a Douglas fir.
It does.
Yes,
It does. It looks like a Christmas tree. Yeah.
Looks like a Christmas tree, maybe like the 2nd week of January, maybe though. 3rd week of January.
Coming wide.
Thanks for that, Sam.
Okay, thank you.
See if I can get the trim dialed in here a bit so it's not...
Oh, there's another one right next to it.
There is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and yet another one.
Yeah.
No.
No, I did not. Thank you. Like
No,
poking
I
around,
wanna
getting
wait.
background data.
Well, I'm not ready yet.
I think I've got dendropathies.
Bridge, Nav.
Maybe.
Kate, not yet.
I was going to hold station.
Oh, I didn't know we started moving.
Stand by.
Right.
Yeah. Bridge, Nav. Can we hold station, please?
The one there on the left looks a little bit different. It's much lighter in the main skeleton part.
Is that a sponge on
by that yellow coral?
Yeah, looks
Yep.
like a sponge.
Okay.
Finding these high density, high diversity communities was one of the main goals of this expedition. And we are thrilled to be seeing this here along with you.
Very, very rare find.
Yeah, it sounds like they needed to do a reset on it. Yeah. I'm not sure if that means the holiday where...
So yeah, if we get another chance, so we see one like that, zooming in on the spawning polyps might be useful. They zoomed in one of those on the previous watch, but didn't see that going on.
Left ridge or right ridge? Which is going to be?
Thanks for checking in, viewers. We do appreciate your questions. We're just, we'll get to those as we can. Keep them coming in.
There's one of the pine tree ones to the left.
All right. That guy there?
Yeah, I think it's right below lasers-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just back away here.
Looks like there's a whole bunch of them to the left, like a, I don't know if they're all the same in the complete left of frame, or if they're different.
Does look less branching, but maybe just younger. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Chris, it's difficult that it's almost nowhere to land in these high density communities, yeah.
These very delicate hemicoralia.
Yeah, I was just backing away to see if there's anywhere I can push in there.
Yeah, I mean, we understand you can't. It's nowhere to run over here.
And there's some.
It's a great problem to have. There's
Yeah,
too
exactly.
much life on the bottom of the sea for us to land.
I'm not actually landing, so I'm just coming in close and occasionally touching some portion of the ROV. I usually look for a steep area, just so I'm watching this camera here in front of me, so I can tell exactly how close I am to the rock, and usually I can just get a corner in there somewhere to touch, or get close at least, as we are now. Okay, Steve, zoom in there.
That is full zoom.
Roger.
What makes you say this is spawning?
Oh, I
Or was it the
saw a
other one?
bunch of stuff moving in the water, so it's probably something I stirred up.
So we're getting a great question from a viewer. How did we decide where to look? If these are rare sites, how did we figure out where we were going to put the ROVs down?
So in Chris's experience, there's a kind of a sweet zone for these deep sea coral communities.
Coming wide?
Very roughly 2,500 to 1,500 meters. We also look for a bathymetric feature like a ridge where currents are going to be stronger than elsewhere. Very favorable conditions for these filter feeders. But how he picked this particular ridge on this large geo I'm going to go back and talk to him about that. Hit a home run.
Can we tilt slightly down, just a hair?
What's that?
Can we tilt slightly down just a hair to shake these flares? There we go. Thank
Sorry,
you.
I tilted up and forgot about it. Push in just a little there. Probably going to regret this, but I'm going to come around and put the breeze behind us.
So scientist ashore says we can identify the spawning corals. The stalks look whiter than the other black corals, branching more than the ones on the rock surface.
And those are the ones that brood their polyps, or brood their larvae inside and then release larvae instead of releasing eggs and sperm, is that right?
Bridge, Nav? I had him stand by.
Not sure about that. Whether these
Stand
are
by.
broad.
Sorry. I just told him to hold station, but we can move him forward 50 meters now. Yeah, I see what he's doing. No, no, I appreciate it because I'm fiddling around here with background layers, getting them since we went off the map. So I appreciate the extra eyes.
There's our Iridogorgia.
So that's funny, 'cause it looks like we just shielded the coral from the current, so it leaned towards us.
We did. I got my tail into it now.
Oh, that's
Nice.
so good.
Whoa.
Oh, that's what you mean by look down the spiral.
That was pretty good.
I didn't do anything. It did it itself.
Just mark that clip.
It's funny, as Steve mentioned, now we've moved by and the current is, yeah, I'm going to have to come back around on the other side of that ridge. There's, I need to have, so if I get close to these guys with that tailwind, it's just, we're just going to lawnmower the whole thing over. I don't want to do that.
Okay, actually, the reference to the whiter stalks was just in reference to that type of black coral in general, not to their spawning behavior.
Let's see if I can. You can tell the current's behind us now. There's some.
They're all done.
See, these
I got him.
Yeah, what does that look like to you, Steve?
That doesn't look like normal sediment.
Please keep spotting. What is the ship doing?
Yeah.
You see that?
I know let's clean it off here a bit.
Where is it, Steve?
It was that look,
Yeah,
it looks
there.
like that here.
See that
I would love
stuff?
to zoom on this stuff because it looks.
No, it's coming off the vehicle. So they landed and pushed.
I don't think it's in the air. Is it the stuff in the air you're talking about? I mean, the water?
Yeah, in the water.
Okay.
It's coming off the vehicle. Sand on the vehicle.
It looks big.
Whatever it is, it's coming off the vehicle.
Could be our sediment sample.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they scooped and.
Okay. I'd love to try a zoom on the sediment sample then when it's in the water column sometime.
Are your spidey senses?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've come to trust those over our 12 dives so far together.
All right. Should we make a move?
Yeah, let's do a 20-meter move or 30-meter, some small step there.
Yeah, let's keep it small. Bridge, Nav. Can we move 30 meters bearing 130, 0.2 knots?
So many black corals.
The last dive said they had seen quite a few fish as well on their watch. So far we've seen one leisurely eel. Have they picked up any chunky angular rocks for you on this dive yet?
Yeah, we got some enormous rocks.
Nice.
We always have our eyes peeled, though, for rocks. As you can see, this is not the ideal spot.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm wondering if we have some octocorals here in the chains.
Oh, yeah. Those veins of...
Yeah. But I can't find a perfect place to check it out. Or those could just be barnacles again.
I can find a place to nose in if you want.
Yeah.
You want to see the...
Yeah, worth a look.
All these fuzzy...
Yep, the bright.
Right below the bottom right now.
There's your chance, Steve. Okay. Sorry.
I think they're swimming. See?
They might be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not thinking sand.
Well,
Some of
so
it's...
there's these bugs all over the ROV.
Are they what are coral polyps? I mean, are they visible like at the set? See that one that just came by?
Yeah,
They're swimming.
They do look swimmy.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna, I lost the plot there. Below the lasers, kind of?
Yeah, do you see that? That chain right there?
Actually very bright there.
Yeah, Raj.
Is that a sediment?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's probably sediment.
So many swimmers.
Is there a chain higher up?
We can just go zoom out and, you know, we can always find this again somewhere else.
I think I'll come around here.
He's slowly making his move. Yeah, I put one in.
Come down 5 meters, swim me.
So not a lot is known about the reproductive behaviors and cycles of these organisms. They're so rarely seen at all, let alone to time it exactly when they spawn, because there is no light at these depths. They must use a different mechanism than the shallow water corals, but we're really not sure.
Super good.
What are we going for here?
Barnacle things.
See if we see any barnacles.
Just that sediment.
Oh.
It's just sediment, yep.
Huh.
Thank you.
I don't.
So it's just sediment occupying little crevices.
There's one of those yellow thin corals again on the left.
Science chat said that was another black coral.
Yeah.
Some kind of black coral, interestingly enough. I don't see any black underneath.
We could probably get close to him if you want. He's overhanging there.
Sure.
There's a pine tree one we might be able to. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, okay.
We got two for here.
On that one.
Yeah. And a 3 for counting the
30
hemicoralia behind
meters.
Yeah.
We are coming to the end of it.
As well as the very white skeletal structure in the bottom right. That's
cool.
really stunning.
Wow.
Oh, come on, Herc.
can see the black skeleton on the yellow one.
Yeah, the other one I was talking about was the tall, skinny that
The
was
whip.
curling.
Yeah, that was unusual.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, so there is one of those thin yellows here.
Oh, I see behind
there's
it.
a tiny one.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Good eye,
nice.
Steve.
I could convince myself there's dark under there.
Oh, that can't see black.
Oh. Come wide.
Yeah, I can
The
keep
Christmas
somewhat tight
tree
there.
one is another
Oh,
black
there's probably
coral,
good.
right?
Yeah.
So we were getting some questions about the camera issue. Do any creatures ever decide to attack your ROVs? And could the camera have been damaged by the squid that the ROVs encountered the other day?
We get attacked by squid. The squid like the lasers. It's like a cat toy for them.
Yeah, they inked the ROV pretty good the other day on a blue water dive that another watch was on.
I think there's an eel right to your right.
Yeah, I saw that tail. Coming wide.
Herc got visited by an oceanic white-tip shark like the other week, which took a sort of very delicate test nibble at one of the floats on the tether. Didn't even leave a mark.
That looks like a serious jaw on this fish. Whoa. Or is that, yeah, that's a bigger.
Fish are a good current direction indicator.
Look at him floating.
Yeah.
He just
cruising.
went.
It's gonna come around.
He definitely doesn't use any extra energy to do anything.
No.
Which is an advantage of that eel-like body form.
Let me know if you want me to come wide, Dan.
Okay.
Wide.
I think my altimeter is bouncing off of Herc.
As long as it's reading something, that's good.
Should we keep going? You want to get out in front?
Let me get out in front, yeah.
Roger.
So we're going painfully slow today. I'm kind of going.
Well, we're already ahead
like
of schedule anyway, so.
Since I don't have Argus, I'm looking where I want to go and then going there and then. So I know where I can get close and where I can't. Zoom in a bit there, Steve.
Looks like there's your friendly
That's good.
spider there.
Thanks.
Oh no, it's a squat lobster.
Little one.
Yep.
Very reflective.
So while animals certainly do interact with the ROVs, I don't think that those squid had anything to do with our camera problems.
This looks like a unique, is this something else occupying a dead coral?
I zoom. So look at those little pink things. Those look like the things that have been swimming around, almost.
Huh.
They're just on the top of frame.
Yeah, this has the spiral of one of those giant corals, but it doesn't have the rest of the features.
Yeah, maybe colonized by something else.
Yeah. I quite love it.
It's nice of it to grow up there to camera height.
On what?
Yes, please.
Yeah, maybe hydroids
Yeah.
on the Chrysogorgia skeleton.
So our 135 pass is going to take us down
There's
that
a nice
way, yeah?
Dr. Seuss down there.
I think the plan is eventually head, and back row, correct me if I'm wrong. This.
Exactly.
Okay.
Northern spur.
Northern spur. So what bearing will that be then?
Probably another move at 135, and then we're gonna head 090. But we'll do another 50-meter move at 135.
That's an amazing
Gorgeous.
sponge.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
Is it an ET?
Looks
It is an
kind of like a
ET.
giant ET.
With a looks like the corals at the base are attached right to the
Right to the-
attachment.
yeah.
Wow.
You want lasers off?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Lasers are secure.
You read my mind.
Oh my gosh. I love the color of this one too.
Yeah, this seems more orange than the other ones that we've been seeing that look like this. Sure, more yellowish.
Come down 5, please, Gabby.
Yep.
Thank you. And then go for laser zoom there, Steve. Well,
No lasers.
I know, but he knows
I know what you
what
mean.
I'm talking about.
Pew, pew.
Wow.
Zooming in enough where I can still keep the zoomed item in the picture.
Wow.
Looks like nobody's home in this one. We almost always see little critters that are using these sponges to shelter and get above the ocean floor up into the water column, but this one can't quite see.
Yeah, how do you think you would pronounce that? Emil?
Bolosamine.
But what was the first word of it?
Euplectelidae.
Balsamine.
Bolosamine.
So it's actually EB, not ET.
Right, EB. But I've never seen one this orange.
Yeah, I was going to say I've never seen one that orange either.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that color allows you to kind of see the texture even more, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so washed out.
Yeah.
That's a great look.
Anybody home?
I'm still voting for the...
Shrink Herc down and fly right in.
Cool, you can see the light from the light coming through the top.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Little hole in the top.
Skylight.
Yeah.
This spacious home, just ready for a new resident, features a skylight and modern lines.
Sesame seed. Coming wider.
Look how well the ROV flies when I don't touch the sticks.
Yeah, there's not much current here, huh?
Yeah, there is, but we have our nose into it.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I can sneak up on stuff like that and then let go of it and it just floats back. And I have the trim pretty close to nil, so
there's more Dr. Seuss in the...
Yeah, lots of them.
yeah, it's a whole mushroom forest there.
Something really big in the back.
Yeah.
Left.
Oh, yeah, something really big.
It's probably another precious, but boy, it's tall.
Every time you say that, I get a flash of the Hobbit.
Absolutely. Just as long as we don't see another Eye of Sauron today. That one
freaked you out a little.
put me off my game a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, that was freaky.
I mean, if you took a snapshot of this out of context and you said, hey, guess where this is? No one would say 1,800 meters below the sea, to the bottom of the sea, unless that eel came strolling by.
Oh, there's a little
into the picture.
Right.
eel coming by.
Nice little performance here.
It's a different color than the...
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
does.
much lighter.
It's like albino.
Maybe a primnoid.
Got a white squatty on it.
It's at least 1.5 meters.
Wow.
See, but these sponges aren't looking so good. So this was a favorable community, a favorable spot, and it became less favorable.
Because
For
this
the
coral
sponge.
blocked all the flow.
Oh,
to this
yeah,
one.
maybe it's a coral blocked all the flow. Good hypothesis.
Looks like there's a white squat lobster in kind of the lower right branch
Yeah,
of
it
this.
does.
guy.
I think there's quite a few things in here. See a lot of little pink dots in it.
Push in there a bit, Steve. We'll get a, see if I get a pull-up zoom out of it.
This is our
How far away?
condo. Wow.
Going all the way.
Wow, lasers off, please.
We'll
Oh,
zoom
if you-
right
if you
past
need
the
'em.
lasers here.
Thank you.
So
Little
It's a great
stars.
zoom. You can see the texture on those main stalks.
It's like really small brittle stars.
Maybe it's a brittle star nursery.
Thanks so much for your question. We are being asked how long it would take a coral to grow this large in these conditions.
I'm going to say centuries at least. But it's hard to date these.
They don't grow like trees where there's a ring every year and we can count the rings. It's a different process. So
Oh, there he is. There was another one back there.
we're just not sure how old it is. Old. Some corals have been dated to 4,000 years.
Okay, Steve.
So these corals do serve as nurseries, shelter, food. So a platform for getting up and off the bottom and up into the current.
Yeah, the thing I think about is showing these wide shots and asking people, what do you think that you're seeing here that's a plant? Because I think a lot of people would think that a lot of these things are plants, but no plants down here, just us animals. All these corals and sponges are animals, and they consume their food by filtering it from the water column and the currents that bring them the little snacks that they can filter out. Great question. Thanks. Keep those questions coming at nautiluslive.org.
Yeah, we're going downhill here.
So you can almost get desensitized to it, but we're looking at one of the most productive
Do bump the
sites in
bump
the
us 20, Kate?
Papahanaumokuakea
Can
Marine
we
National
do a
Monument.
20-meter bump?
Yeah.
or 30, whatever. Somewhere in there.
Bridge, nav. Can we move 30 meters, bearing 130?
And NOAA recently announced a process to consider increasing the protections of the monument by designating it as a national marine sanctuary, and the public comment period is open.
Yeah, you can find information about how to comment. Go to our website, nautiluslive.org. And on our status bar, you can find the website for Papahanaumokuakea Marine Monument, where we are exploring. And go and express your opinion about this place and about strengthening the protections that are already in place, but adding an additional layer of protection. Wish we had a butterfly net on Herc. We could kind of put it out there in the current and maybe catch some of these little swimmers that are going by.
We do
Slurp?
plankton tows where we put nets on the top of the vehicle and drive around and collect plankton.
What is this guy?
It's like a windsock.
That sounds like fun. Let's do that.
It's not fun. It's really boring.
It's like
You looking at this flowery thing,
Yeah,
Andrew?
yeah. Is that a type of crinoid? It's a stalked something. But I don't think I've ever seen that.
Okay, Steve, you can zoom in there. You'll have to tilt down.
There was one of these earlier when we started our watch. I just called it a light pink palm tree.
A light pink palm tree.
It looks like a coral, huh?
Yeah, it does look like a coral.
Yeah.
It's got little round something on it.
Yeah, are those
Looks
some
like it's got
sort of
polyps.
associates?
Yeah.
Suppose zoom there.
Snails?
I don't know.
Yeah, those are some associates. I don't know what they are.
Let's see what science chat has to say. Umbrella panthes. Umbrella panthes.
Tilt one.
Oh, that's a black coral?
I believe it.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in the stock there a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, towards the bottom.
Wonder how it got that name, umbrella.
Oh, yeah, they're interested in the one in the background there, is it? The one that's out of focus? There you go. Now tilt back down. That's good there, you can leave it.
Yeah, not umbrella.
Umbellapathes.
No R in that.
No R in there.
I really want there to be an R in that, though. Makes for a better pun.
You guys seen enough of this one?
Yeah, thank you.
Keep those questions coming in the chat. Thanks so much for those. If you want to submit your question, go to nautiluslive.org. Got a question here about climate change and ocean acidification.
Tack on another 20 after that, Kate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get Argus down the hill a bit.
Bridge, nav. Can we move 20 meters, bearing 135? Bearing 130, sorry.
So a viewer is interested in knowing, is ocean acidification a problem at these depths, or is that just happening at the surface?
Well, from what we've talked about previously, we don't know, but largely we think that it's not happening here yet. We don't see any of the effects anyway. Same we're seeing at the surface.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's observed more at the surface.
Because ocean acidification is happening mainly from CO2 in the atmosphere entering at the surface, there would need to be quite a bit of mixing in order for those effects to get down to these great depths. We do measure quite a few parameters about the water quality. You can find that on our website. If you scroll down on the right-hand bar and click on more data, you can get information in real time on the water temperature, oxygen, salinity, all sorts of great data that's coming up from our ROVs that's available to you at home. So go check that out at nautiluslive.org. Great question.
Does
So
that squat lobster have a perfect spot in the middle of that coral?
it's interesting. The other Dr. Sis we were looking at had his osculum open to us, and we were facing into the current. And these guys are 180 from that. So does that mean the current blows both way over this ridge?
That's what we're wondering, if that is something that could possibly happen. That's one of the questions we're thinking about.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised.
It looks like we've got life on all over the ridge, not just one side.
Yeah.
Wow, is that dense?
What is that in the middle of it?
It's really thick.
You could definitely get a great demonstration here of how effective this organism might be at filtering out any small particles that are brought its way by the currents.
Maybe it's a gastropod, that gastropod we'd seen.
We're down current from it, and there's nothing in the foreground of our shot right now in terms of marine snow.
I don't know what is on the middle of him.
Yeah,
there.
can you zoom in on that part?
Sure. Go ahead, Steve.
It's one of those anemones.
Huh. Yeah, it looks anemone-ish.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The ring one, maybe?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Good call, Steve.
Thank you.
I think they're happy.
Huh.
The one spot where that coral got slightly less dense, that anemone set up shop there and is also getting up in the water column to access any food that might come within its sphere of influence. Really neat.
Do you want another 20-meter bump?
Yeah. We'll get Argus down the hill a bit more.
Whoa. Oh, bridge now. Can we move 20 meters bearing 130?
Can do a half zoom on the back of this guy if you want, Steve. What's that? They're giving up on that thing.
Is it firing?
Yeah, I think so.
All the shots that I squared up on have come out. Yeah, I haven't. like to put it in a different locale on the vehicle and see how that works. It is. Yeah. Yep.
So are we looking at the back of this sponge as well? Like we think the current is coming straight at us here?
It's definitely coming straight at us at the moment.
So those holes that we're seeing are where the filtered water comes out.
Exits, right.
Great question, viewer. Thanks so much for that.
It's the tailpipe exhaust.
The other one had, I'm pretty sure we were on this heading when we were looking into the opening of it, so.
Were we also down current though?
Yeah, I had my nose into the current on the other one, and we've been looking kind of northeast all night across the hill here.
So is there a complete difference in current here and there?
No, the current's been the same. We were just speculating whether it blows the other way when the tides change or when something changes.
I think if this was the first example of this form that we had seen, the Cheeto sponge might have been an appropriate name. So orange.
Cheeto Dr. Spruce, maybe.
Slightly more yellow on my monitor, but I see.
I know, I see yellow too. Or like a squash. It's a squash
there,
color.
There you go.
Squash color, squash sponge. Want
like
some detail here?
Yellow screen there.
It's like pumpkin guts.
There you go.
Totally. Okay.
On the wide.
Great zoom there on the filtering structure.
Dual exhaust.
Yeah.
Finally getting a little downslope of her.
Yeah.
You can feel free to put those lasers back on anytime.
Roger.
I'm going to peek down the hill here, see what's coming up.
Pockets of sediment.
Yeah. Different.
Dark area.
Can I have bubble for a sec, Dan?
Yeah, sure.
Lots of little black corals close to the floor.
Yeah.
Short ones.
Very
We're
dense.
kind of almost ignoring the little microforest under us, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like a carpet.
So our next move to get over on that, I guess the ridge splits, and where it splits the northern split, we'll want to go 090.
Yeah, I haven't seen any uphill 09. I guess we got to get to the bottom of this, and then it'll go back uphill again. Is that the thought?
So not quite, you
It
see.
looks like it just drops slowly.
Yeah, I mean, we could go to the bottom of it and then go over here, or we can head straight over to it. So we'll head over on this ridge, and then eventually it kind of makes this backwards C shape, curls down.
Why don't we go a little bit further along this ridge and then cut over?
All right, copy. We'll keep on the 130.
It might be the bottom-ish here, or maybe not. I don't know. Some weird.
Yeah, what
strange
what is the
substrate.
dark substrate we're seeing?
It
No
looks like a
idea.
sea of manganese nodules.
Yeah.
Very tiny ones, if that's what it is.
Huh.
to the little oasis island here in the manganese nodules too.
I'll go ahead and make that next move.
Yeah.
Bridge, nav.
Unless it's
Can we
pieces
move
of black
30
coral.
meters bearing 130.
I don't know. That's weird.
Shards of something.
Shards of black coral from all
Drop
the
down.
black
Grab it,
corals that are
please.
around.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Drop down 5 or 10.
It's a cool theory.
Can we get a zoom on that
Hypothesis.
sediment when you get a chance?
Yeah.
Zooming.
Could be that.
Do you want to see some
Oh, it,
particular part of it, right, left,
well,
uphill?
just the dark,
Right.
the very dark part.
To the right, please.
Zooming wide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anywhere in there.
I'll look down, you'll get a better close-up. Sorry, I'm making you dizzy while I'm doing that. But
Yep, it's parts of coral, I
Yeah.
think. It's
There,
black coral.
full zoom there, Steve.
There
Whoa.
is some speculation that it could be crust too. Bits of crust.
Do we need a scoop of that?
The scoop's kind of locked
Oh
in
yeah.
that
Can we
danger
slurp?
box.
Can we slurp some up?
We can do both.
Let's slurp it.
Yeah,
Why not? Slurp sample.
Slurp or scoop?
I think the scoop is otherwise occupied for the duration, but
Really?
yeah, because
Well,
they
it's
don't
in
want
the
that
danger
coral
box.
to.
Oh,
Get
but
away.
it's magneted somewhere, isn't it?
No, it's in the front bio box
Oh, okay.
with a very floaty black coral.
Well, we're in a good spot to see
There's a scoop right there.
how floaty it is.
Oh,
Oh.
they put it back on the porch.
All right, Steve. Sorry.
Let me
We're all liars.
It's one of the weirdest things about
come
being
down
aboard
another
Nautilus
5 or 10 force, please, Gabby.
is we have to sleep sometimes, so we don't always get to watch everything that's going on the other dives. We'll see something, go for a power nap, and come back, and then things have changed. FOMO is real, friends.
I heard the last watch say it was attached with a magnet.
Oh, I heard it was in
Scoop
the
is
forward
the,
bio box.
The issue is what's floaty in this.
Where do we put it? Yeah.
Oh, let's slurp.
I
I
think
think-
slurp would
I
be
think
good.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can open the box and have a look.
no, that's
You
all
want?
right.
No.
Slurp's good.
All right, grab that slurp up. Give me.
Roger.
This is our first slurp on this cruise.
Exciting.
Oh.
Jeez, how
Is
do we
it?
work
Or
that
no,
thing
we did.
again?
We
You
slurped
rack
up
back,
that.
Dan?
Yes,
we
I
did.
am.
Thanks.
Oh,
It's-
we did. We slurped up the coral base.
Yeah, we did.
Oh boy, we had a flutist. I'm gonna be playing the flute.
I saw these at Johnston Atoll, and I had no idea what they were. Don't believe we got a sample at that time.
You mean the black sediments like
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many black corals here, and that's going to be the part with the most structural integrity. Remember that the sediment coming in from, there is no sediment coming in from a continent. There is no particulates coming in that are derived from a continent out here. So the sediment you see is made in situ by the organisms that are here. So whenever you see
Stop the ship.
sediment shift, you can
Bridge, nav.
pretty much guarantee it's going to be associated with the organisms making hard parts, basically.
Hold ship, please.
You'll have to move him back 10 meters. See if you can catch it, Argus there. Or maybe 20 meters.
It's like we got a shrimp and a scoop.
Bridge, nav.
Oh,
Excellent.
Can we move 20 meters bearing 300?
No pressure, but we're about to get drugged.
Moves in.
It's okay. If we need to come back, we come back.